Thanks everyone for joining in. My name is Shaun Simpson, and today I am here with Meg from the City of Powell. Meg, do you want to give us a quick rundown of who you are, what you do?
Absolutely. Thanks, Shaun, for having me. And hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Megan Canavan. You've probably seen me commenting on social media, answering questions on behalf of the city. I'm the city's communications director. I've been there since April of 2013. So coming up here on 7 years working for the City of Powell. My family and I live in the community as well, and have for the last couple years. And so I do everything that ranges from, communications, public relations, social media, and then of course, any type of emergency communications, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah. Well, I know it is a trying time for the city as well, and probably the worst possible timing with the transition of a city manager. Can you let everybody know what services the city is continuing with, or what may be on hold currently?
Sure. Many of our services are considered essential, and so there haven't been a lot of modifications made to that. Some of the things, though, that we have done as it relates to our building department, for example, they have suspended all residential inspections on occupied homes. So things like home improvement projects that would require an inspection, those are being postponed until further notice. They only had a couple projects they were working on, and so they were able to finish some of those with video conferencing and wrap those up before the pandemic struck and before we were issued the stay-at-home order. Other things that have an impact on our community, of course, our parks and recreation programs. Those have been canceled until further notice. We're taking things day by day and to see, evaluate and monitor where we're at. And then our parks, though, do remain open. They're being used quite a bit. People are really anxious to get out, get a breath of fresh air, just get some activity outside. And so our parks do remain open. We did close our playgrounds earlier this week under the order from the state of Ohio. And our public restrooms are closed as well in our parks. So there have been slight modifications made, but again, we do provide essential services. Our police department, they're here, they're ready to serve and ready to help in whatever way they can with this COVID pandemic.
And I know we talked about facilities a little bit. What are we seeing police force wise or facilities? Are there anything we need to be aware of there?
Yeah, as far as the police department, a lot of things are, they're prepared for responding to this. I have to give a special shout out right now to the Delaware General Health District, Sheila Hiddleston and her team, and especially my PIO colleagues there, Tracy and Megan. They have been doing a wonderful job. They have been meeting with law enforcement daily, talking through, safety protocols and how to, best equip the police and fire departments. They've just been doing a wonderful job of sharing resources and sharing information that better equipped at the local level. From a police services standpoint, we've obviously suspended things like fingerprinting and our Citizens Police Academy, child safety seat checks. So some of the things that our police department does offer on a daily basis have been suspended just to protect our officers and to keep our community safe and healthy as well.
Great. So we talked about how the facilities are all pretty much on an as needed basis. I'm assuming all city meetings are at least postponed or canceled at this point.
Yeah, all of the we're obviously having essential meetings, but if a lot of our meetings are being done just like we are talking teleconferencing or over the phone right now. We are starting to get some guidance from the state legislature about public meetings and how those can be held there, and they've been having conversations about that. We're anticipating getting more information really actually here any day now. on that particular topic as it relates to holding city council meetings, planning and zoning commission meetings. We do have some of those scheduled for April, of course, and will be following the guidance of what the state legislature is going to be, ordering for all of us as far as live streaming goes and teleconferencing goes.
Yes, and that's a challenge with the sunshine laws.
Mhm.
Um, what the fun question that I don't know if has even been evaluated yet from a budget standpoint? Obviously, we have a ever increasing unemployment number right now. Are we expecting any budget hits due to income taxes, or do we really have no idea on that right now?
Yeah, I think it's really it's still too early to tell. Of course, the city's main income source is through the income tax collections. We have other sources of revenue as well, one being development fees and the other being property tax collection. Property taxes, we, get about 4 cents of every dollar. So it is on the, that's the income tax does, typically is where we get most of our ability to operate the city. And so I'd say right now it's a little early to, too early to tell how the temporary shutdown of businesses is going to affect that for this year and in the years ahead.
And how do our events look right now? Still too early, or I know with Pal Fest and all that, the congregation of large amounts of people may be fun.
Yeah, so we're still we're continuing to monitor that. Obviously our Easter egg hunt scheduled for April 4th has been canceled. That is done by the and organized by the Powell United Methodist Church. So they run that and organize that event. That has been canceled, of course. And so we're looking obviously at our May events now to see what events will likely be held or maybe will not be, depending on how things go. Just really taking things day by day as we get more get additional guidance from the state and federal levels.
And then the real reason I wanted to call is how can we help with any situations in the city or to support our community right now?
Sure, that's a great question. I have to say that we've had so many residents reach out to the city to see how they can help, which is just really tells and is shows just how supportive the PAL community is of one another. One thing that's an easy thing to do is just continue to check on your loved ones. One thing that I wanted to mention on this call that the Powell Police Department is going to be offering starting later today, we'll be posting this information to our website, are well-being checks. If you have a loved one that lives in this community, or if you have a neighbor that you believe maybe needs to be checked on during this stay-at-home order, you can actually contact the Powell Police Department and you can request that they be added to this list. And the officers daily will do a check, of course, practicing safe distancing, but checking on the elderly, those with maybe potentially underlying conditions, those that are at home alone that need to just be checked in on. And so again, if somebody's watching this and maybe they don't live in Powell, but their grandparent does or their parent does, feel free to contact the police department to sign up for that. Again, those details will be posted later to the city's website. So that's certainly one thing. Showing support for our businesses is huge. The Powell community, again, there's a page, the Powell Restaurant and Bar Support page, and I have been just amazed at how many people have joined that, have been sharing photos of their favorite restaurants in Powell, things like that. So just continuing to do that. We do have some nonprofit agencies, of course, in the community that have posted information on their websites about ways to get involved and to help as well. So we have a lot of agencies throughout Delaware County that are asking for various things to help get them through through the next this time.
Great. Well, and so I guess the last thing is I know I follow along, so maybe a little um, ignorant on what people may not be following. What is the best way to keep in touch and to follow along with what's going on in our community and with the city?
Sure. So the best way, there's a couple different things that I would encourage our community to do. Of course, with the city and getting up to date information on how we may be modifying our operations or programs such as what I just mentioned with the police department would be to visit our website, cityofpowell.us. And on it, there's a big red bar as soon as you log on, and it says COVID-19 updates. Click there, you can read along. At the bottom of our website is a place to sign up for our e-newsletter. We send that out weekly. The last 2 weeks have been specifically related to the COVID-19 updates and what the city is doing and how we're responding to that. So that would be a great place locally to look and see what's going on. Follow the City of Powell local government on Facebook. Again, we're sharing a lot of information for our community. I would also encourage people to follow the Delaware General Health District, their Facebook page, their Twitter page, and they also have a daily e-newsletter that goes out. It has great information. It's sharing bits of resources, and they're updating the community on how many cases of COVID-19 they're seeing in Delaware County. And then the last resource that I would continue to check is the Ohio Department of Health. They have a coronavirus page as well that also has a lot of great information. One thing that we have seen with COVID-19 is the spread of maybe false information or resources that are maybe not accurate. And so I would always check those sites to see if what you're reading is accurate or not. They're going to be sharing accurate information that's very helpful.
Great. Well, on a personal level, I just want to thank you and really the city as a whole for your responsiveness and communication at all times. I mean, it's really been second to none. We're always getting the information, and you guys are always there for us when we need to. So, thanks for jumping on with me today, and thanks again for everything. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to tell us?
No, thank you. And again, just respecting that stay-at-home order right now. It's key in getting us through this, and I hope that everybody is, finding different activities that they can do at home or outside right now during this challenging time frame and really unprecedented historic event.
Great. Well, thanks again, and enjoy your time at home.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you,
Meg.
Shaun.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
we'll see you. Bye.